Hi guys, good evening. I wanted to take a time out of my day to say hello. I have missed you so much at school. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You know how much I love to celebrate the holidays in the classroom and read books to you, so I thought I'd take a chance to read to you a story this evening called Leprechaun on the Loose. A leprechaun was loose in the classroom, and Cyd was the only one who knew it. Cyd saw teeny tiny green footprints on the floor. He followed them to the table where Mrs. Yoder had cupcakes for their St. Patrick's Day party. Cyd peeked inside the box. All the green icing had been licked off the cupcakes. Cyd set out to find that leprechaun. It was plain bad luck when he stepped on his own shoelace. Oof! Whoosh! Splat! Cyd fell right on the table. Cyd ruined our party snack, Della Puddington told everyone when Mrs. Yoder threw away the squish box. I didn't do it, Cyd said. It was the leprechaun. An itty-bitty hee-hee came from behind the fish tank, but Cyd was the only one who heard it. During reading time, Cyd noticed something was wrong with the fish. He sneaked to the back of the room and looked into the tank. The leprechaun was swimming the backstroke, and the fish definitely were not happy. Cyd dove after the leprechaun. Plop! Kerplunk! Splush! Water soaked the table. Cyd ruined our decorations, Della cried when Mrs. Yoder threw away the soggy paper shamrocks. I didn't do it, Cyd said. It was the leprechaun. Cyd was sure he heard a tiny little ha 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 as he mopped up the mess. During science class, Cyd heard a creak, creak, creak coming from the hamster's cage. Cyd tiptoed to the cage. He carefully opened the door and came face to face with the leprechaun. While Cyd and the leprechaun stared at each other, the hamster ran out the open door and across the table. Cyd dived after the hamster. Boom! Bam! Crash! Cyd fell against the table. Juice went flying everywhere just as the hamster scurried out of sight. Our juice is gone, Della said with a sniffle. So are the decorations and all of our cupcakes. Cyd ruined our St. Patrick's Day party. Cyd was sure he heard a faint tee-hee from behind the stack of reading books. Nobody believed that Cyd didn't do it. There was only one thing for him to do. He had to catch that leprechaun. At recess, Cyd sneaked past his teacher and ran to the art corner. Everything he needed was there. Cyd pounded and snapped and glued. Perfect, he said when he finished his leprechaun trap. Then he hurried into the lunchroom and looked through the lunch trays until he found a stinky tidbit of corned beef. Cyd carefully reached inside his leprechaun trap with the bait. Just then his foot knocked into the back of the trap. Swoosh! Clang! Zing! Cyd was caught inside. He heard the tippity-tap-tippy of itty-bitty boots. I do believe I've caught me a boy, that I have, said the leprechaun with a grin. Let me out, Cyd begged. The tiny man scratched under his tall green hat. Now why should I be wanting to do a thing such as that? Cyd thought fast. Come closer, I'll tell you a secret, he said. Secret? I love secrets, said the leprechaun as he inched forward. That's when Cyd made his move. He reached out and tickled the leprechaun right under the chin. Ha! Hee! Oh! The leprechaun fell down and hit the trap door. The door flew open. Cyd rolled out and pushed the leprechaun inside. Swoosh! Clang! Zing! I've got you, Cyd yelled. Now I can prove that you ruined the party, not me. Party? Said the little man. I'll make you a deal. Let me go and I'll save the party. Then I'll be gone and you'll never see me again. How can a leprechaun save our party? Cyd asked. With me treasure, of course. Should he keep the leprechaun and prove he didn't ruin everything? Cyd wondered. Or should he let the leprechaun go home and save the party for all of his friends? Cyd was running out of time. His class was right outside the door. He had to decide. Quick, tell me where your treasure is, Cyd said. He leaned close, and the leprechaun whispered in his ear. Cyd knew a deal was a deal. He opened the trap door and watched the leprechaun climb out. The leprechaun turned one last time and tipped his hat at Cyd. Then the teeny tiny man slipped out the window and was gone. Cyd found the treasure right where the leprechaun said it would be. It was just what he needed to save the party. The class cheered. Even Della Puddington smiled at Cyd. Mrs. Yoder wasn't mad at him anymore, even if she didn't quite believe where Cyd got the party supplies. Cyd was finally able to forget all the trouble the leprechaun had caused. Then Cyd heard something terrible. Excuse me, lad, said a tiny voice from behind Cyd's box of crayons. I'm looking for me brother. Have you seen him anywhere? Now, I love this story for St. Patrick's Day because you can finish the story if you want. So I encourage you and challenge you, what's going to happen next? Now that the brother has showed up, what's going to happen next? Is the new party going to get ruined? Is the leprechaun going to cause more problems? What do you think is going to happen next? Comment below on the video or feel free to send me an email and tell me what you think is going to happen next. I hope you guys are doing well and I'll send another video soon. Bye.